All right. Welcome, everyone. Ready for another deep dive.
Always.
So we're looking at, how people are talking about AI these days.
Mhm.
And we've got some, well, kind of like interesting little snippets and conversations and just observations, things like that.
Yeah, it's like eavesdropping on like the global conversation about AI. Kind of cool.
Yeah, like how are people trying to wrap their heads around all this?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
this one really kind of got to me. It's like AI emerging from any other hole.
Hmm.
It's like, whoa, hold on. That feels almost like an invasion, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it definitely has that kind of like encroaching feel to it.
Yeah, and they compare that to like the fall of governments,
Oh, wow.
which historically, I mean, that's a big deal.
Huge. Yeah. Massive change.
So are they saying that AI is like on that same level?
That's the question, isn't it? Is this as big a shift as like, the French Revolution or something?
I mean, could it reshape the world order? The way we understand everything?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, it's hard to even grasp the scope of it, right?
But then, okay, so then you see this other snippet, and it's people like casually posting about using AI, to do these everyday tasks, like in minutes.
Right.
Like, oh, I just used AI to, plan my whole week's meals or something.
It's almost like it makes the whole thing feel less, I don't know, less dramatic somehow.
Yeah, less
Yeah,
apocalyptic.
exactly.
But it's this weird mix, right?
Totally. Yeah. It's like on the one hand, AI could disrupt like entire systems,
Mm-hmm.
but on the other hand, it's like helping us with our grocery lists.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
such a strange juxtaposition.
It really shows you how it's like impacting our lives on all these different levels.
Yeah.
Like another one that really jumped out at me was, a kid saying, "But Dad, ChatGPT said I'm right."
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
It's like, oh, okay, so that's how we're going to win arguments now.
Like, is that the new ultimate authority?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what happens to all the like traditional sources of knowledge? Like
Yeah.
the textbooks, the experts, whatever.
Like, because ChatGPT said so.
Yeah.
Because I said so.
Right.
It's like, how does that shape, how future generations are even going to understand truth
Huge implications. Yeah.
and authority? Like, where does authority come from now?
That's a great question.
It also makes me think about this other idea that's floating around that people are like getting smarter alongside AI.
Right.
But are we actually like more intelligent? Or are we just getting better at using AI to find information?
Yeah, I mean, are we outsourcing our thinking,
Yeah.
or are we actually leveling up our brains somehow?
Yeah. Is it changing the very definition of intelligence?
Maybe.
Right.
Like, are we going to start valuing different kinds of intelligence?
Yeah, like the skills that AI can enhance.
Right.
Like pattern recognition or
Yeah.
data analysis.
Exactly.
It's funny because then there's this other idea that pops up that like new challenges are arising from good old disciplines.
Oh, interesting.
So even with all this AI stuff, we still need, those old fields.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like, philosophy, history, ethics
Hmm.
to help us like navigate all this uncharted territory.
I see. Like the tools might be old, but the problems are new.
Yeah.
And we need those old tools to help us figure out the new problems.
Now these fields that some people might see as like old-fashioned, they might actually become even more relevant now.
Right, because they help us answer the big questions, right? The human questions.
Exactly.
The questions that AI can't answer for us.
Yeah.
Like, what specific challenges do you think those fields could help us with?
Well, like take philosophy, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're going to need philosophy to grapple with the question of consciousness.
Mm.
What does it even mean to be human in a world where AI is like everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
And history can give us some context,
Yeah.
right?
Like, how have past societies dealt with massive technological shifts? What can we learn from them?
Yeah. Have we been here before, in a way?
In a way, yeah. Maybe not with AI specifically, but with other, paradigm-shifting technologies.
Right.
And then there's ethics, which is huge.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, how do we make sure that AI is used ethically? That it benefits all of humanity, not just a select few?
Yeah. How do we control it? How do we make sure it doesn't control us?
Big questions, yeah.
So the challenges might be new,
Right.
but the tools for understanding them might actually be pretty old.
So it's like we need to go back to the basics in a way.
Yeah, it's not just about the technology. It's about like how we think about ourselves and the world.
Absolutely.
It's like AI is making us rethink like everything.
Yeah, and that's kind of exciting in a way, isn't it?
I think so.
It's a whole new world.
It is. It is. So as you kind of go deeper into this world of AI, I want you to think about this. If AI can give us, like, increasingly accurate answers, and they're right there at our fingertips,
Hmm.
what happens to human intuition?
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
gut feeling that tells you something's right or wrong.
Right.
What about creativity?
Yeah.
The spark that leads to new ideas and new ways of thinking?
Those uniquely human qualities.
Yeah. Is there still room for those in a world that's driven by data and algorithms?
I don't know. I mean, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I
Yeah.
think it's one that we're all going to have to grapple with in the years to come.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Well, thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
My pleasure. Always fascinating.
And for everyone listening, keep those questions coming. We'll be back soon to dive into some more.
Until next time.